America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, I apologize. Let me fix my screen a little bit there. There we go, Keith. I apologize, everybody. I got bounced off of TikTok again. So hopefully, folks who were listening to this show, The Social Contract with Joe Walsh, on TikTok every day, you went elsewhere on any other platform or on my YouTube channel to listen to this show. Hi, Kiko. I don't know what I said. It's easy to get bounced off of TikTok. I got my team looking into it. But right now, I've been suspended from doing any live videos on TikTok until July 27th. That sucks. Keith Lynn, that's nonsense. Absolutely. But we're looking into it. We've appealed. We've done everything we can. I want to start here this morning and welcome everybody with the most important thing that I am going to say in these 4 years of Trump. That's hard to say. But what I'm about to talk about right now is the single most important principle that I'm going to talk about while Donald Trump is in the White House. And it goes like this: there are no kings in America. We do not have kings here. We are not ruled by a king. No strongmen, no authoritarians, no dictators. We have a constitution which limits the powers of our government and limits the powers of the executive. We have a constitution. We have separation of powers. We have checks and balances. We have a judiciary. We have, in this country, a country of, right, governed by all of us. We are not governed by, we are not ruled by, we are not dictated over by a king, a dictator. Not in this country. This isn't China. This isn't North Korea. This isn't Russia. This isn't Hungary. This isn't Turkey. Not in this country. It's why, going all the way back to December, no kings, no kings, no kings. Thought of those words, no kings, no kings, after Trump won in November, and I began to contemplate what a second term of Trump would look like. That phrase, those two words just kept ringing in my head, going all the way back to early December. No kings. No kings. Not here. This is the country that was founded upon rebellion against a king, rebellion against an authoritarian. And so in December and January, before Trump was even sworn in, we began to push that meme, no kings, that principle, no kings. And we've asked and encouraged you all every single day for the past 6 months to get on board and embrace that principle. We don't have kings in America. This is the most important lesson that America can learn while that guy is in the White House, because it's the most important threat we face. Look, Donald Trump is a lot of things. He's an idiot. He's ignorant. He's stupid. He's a psychopath. He's incapable, humanly incapable of empathy. He's a pathological liar. He's a crook, a criminal, a cheat, a bully, an adulterer. He's a bad, bad human being. He also sees himself as a king. and a dictator, an authoritarian. All those other aspects of Trump, that he's just an utterly horrible human being, right? He's a bully, a coward, a cheat. He's cheated on every one of his wives. He's abused and harassed dozens of women. He's ignorant. He's proudly ignorant. He's stupid. He's a baby. He's the biggest crybaby, right? If Donald Trump could not play the victim, he'd dry up and wither away. All of that, though, that's all bad. And the fact that we put an utterly horrible human being in the White House is really, really bad. But the threat to us, the biggest threat that Trump presents to this country is he believes he's a king. He fancies himself a dictator. He's trying to rule as an authoritarian. There's no greater threat this democracy, this constitutional republic faces than this. There's no greater threat that we face than this authoritarian in the White House. I believed it when he won back in November. I knew what he would try to do. When he campaigned last year, he talked about being a dictator. He talked about all the shit he wanted to do. He talked about being an authoritarian. Donald Trump gets down on his knees every day and he worships Putin and all the other authoritarians around the world. He's always been this way. And I knew, like many of you knew, if he gets elected again, once he's sworn in again, fuck it. This is his second term. This is Trump 2.0. He's just going to say the hell with it. I'm a dictator. I'm going to rule. And the scary, sad thing, a big chunk of Trump's base wants to be ruled by a dictator. This is the single greatest threat that we face these 4 years of Trump. Having an authoritarian in the White House. Remember, we don't have a legislative branch anymore. We're down to 2 independent branches of government. Congress basically checked it in, it quit as soon as Trump was sworn in. We got a judiciary doing whatever they can, but we basically have a dictator running roughshod in this country. Now, I want to show you. I want to show you and tell you all the authoritarian, dictatorial things he's done in just the last week or two. Because I know MAGA gets pissed off when I talk this way. So I'm only going to go back about a week or 10 days. Like my thesis is, we've got a king in the White House. We got a guy who thinks he's a king. No kings in America, baby. No kings. We have a dictator, an authoritarian, a mad, strong man in the White House. And plenty of you are saying, oh, Joe, you're crazy, man. Come on, man, Joe. There you go again. TDS, Joe. Trump derangement syndrome, Joe. I'm just going to take you back a week. Just about a week to 10 days. And I'll start here. Donald Trump, 4 days ago, the president of the United States publicly threatened to revoke the citizenship of a private American citizen. Keith, do we still have that Rosie O'Donnell post? Donald Trump on Friday. Thank you, boss. Donald Trump, the president of the United States. There you can read it, everybody. I'm giving serious consideration to taking away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. Publicly, that guy in the White House threatening to take away the citizenship of a private American citizen. Now, I don't give a damn what you think of Rosie O'Donnell. I don't give a damn what you think of any American citizen. No, MAGA. No, MAGA. Not going to let you do that. He's trolling. And this is what a lot of MAGA folks always say. Joe, he got you. He's trolling. He's just joking. Fuck that. The President of the United States publicly posts a threat to take away the citizenship of a private individual. No fucking way. Not going to let you say that's trolling. That's him using his office, the powers of his office, to try to silence a private American. That is by definition fascist. That is authoritarianism. That is a king. That is a dictator. Let me remind everybody right now, because this is a really important point. Trump doesn't have the authority to do that. He does not have the authority to take away the citizenship of an American citizen. So either MAGA, he doesn't care, or he doesn't know, or he doesn't understand. It doesn't matter to us. Everything a president says or does is public. Everything a president says is the action of a president. And here's the president on Friday. I mean, by definition, that is fascism. I don't like you, private citizen. I'm going to take away your citizenship. That's what they do in fascist countries. That's what dictators do. And the President of the United States 4 days ago threatened to do it. He doesn't have the authority to do it. But authoritarians, dictators, kings, they don't give a fuck about that. They can do whatever they want. That was 4 days ago. And that action of the president, that authoritarian action of the president, threatening to take away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship, that came a day after Donald Trump publicly threatened to deny funding to cities that govern in ways he doesn't like. Donald Trump, a day before the Rosie O'Donnell attack, publicly said he'll cut off funding to DC and New York City because he doesn't like the way they're governed. Again, 2 points. He doesn't have the authority to do that, but that is the act and the action of an authoritarian, a dictator, a fascist. That comes a day after Donald Trump threatened to arrest Democrats he doesn't like. Donald Trump threatened to arrest the Democratic nominee for mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, because he doesn't like Mamdani's immigration policies. And Donald Trump, the president of the United States, threatened to arrest Mamdani. The actions of a dictator, a fascist, a king, an authoritarian. Yeah, Trump doesn't have the authority to arrest Mamdani. But again, authoritarians, dictators, kings, they don't give a damn about authority. They can rule. They can do whatever they want. That threat to arrest Mamdani came about 4 days after Donald Trump publicly said he wanted to deport American citizens. Trump said that for about the 6th time. I think we're going to deport American citizens, he said. Again, doesn't have the authority to do it, just like he doesn't have the authority to take away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. But he said it. He threatened to do it. Utterly fascist, utterly authoritarian, dictatorial, something a king would do. Deport American citizens? That came 2 days after Trump threatened to arrest a Democratic governor in America who opposed Trump's agenda. Donald Trump, about 9 days ago, threatened to arrest Gavin Newsom, governor of California. He publicly posted it because Newsom opposed Trump's agenda. Again, that's what a fascist does. That's what a dictator, an authoritarian would do. Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to arrest Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom opposes Trump's policy agenda, but Trump threatened to do it regardless. Utterly fascist. Exactly what a dictator would do. Finally, that threat to arrest Newsom came a day after Donald Trump ordered his Justice Department to investigate Biden without any cause. I just went back about 2 weeks. That's all I did. If you want me to go back these past 6 months, I'd be here for a week if I had to delineate and articulate every authoritarian threat, every dictatorial action Donald Trump has taken. I just went back almost 2 weeks and I gave you 7 examples of actions Trump took that he doesn't have the authority to take. I just went back almost 2 weeks. Threatened to take away an American citizenship, threatened to defund cities, threatened to, I forgot one. Donald Trump, 6 days ago, threatened to prosecute CNN because he didn't like a report that CNN ran about him. Donald Trump publicly threatened to prosecute, go after CNN, a private media company. He did that 6 days ago. That's utterly fascist. So think about it. Again, there are more in the past 2 weeks. We do not have kings in America. In barely the past 2 weeks, this ignorant dictator in the White House has threatened to do, has taken such dictatorial actions. Take away an American citizenship, defund cities, go after private media companies, arrest Democrats he doesn't like, deport American citizens, arrest a Democratic governor he doesn't like, order the Justice Department to look into his predecessor. These are all actions of a dictator. My God, this is the antithesis of America. These are all the actions of a would-be king. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he's such a stupid fucking idiot. There's no excuse for this. When a president of the United States threatens to take away the citizenship of a private citizen in this country, that is an authoritarian act. The threat alone. Because look, all of this is meant to silence people. That's what dictators do. That's what authoritarians do. Trump wants to silence Rosie O'Donnell. Trump wants to silence the mayor of Washington, D.C. Trump wants to silence Mamdani. Trump wants to silence CNN. He wants to silence American citizens who disagree with him. He wants to silence Gavin Newsom. He wants to silence Joe Biden. He wants to put Joe Biden in jail. You make a threat as the president to do these unconstitutional things, you are acting like a dictator, a king. And respectfully, MAGA, love you. And MAGA, I say this with all the affection in the world. Fuck you, MAGA. Fuck yourselves. If you can't look at this, if you've got your heads, your partisan tribal heads so far up Trump's ass that you can't even be bothered by a president, that you don't have the balls or the courage to say what Trump has done is wrong, threatening to arrest Gavin Newsom because you don't like him, if you don't have the decency, if you don't have the patriotism to say that because you got your head so far up Trump's ass, again, respectfully, with all the affection in the world, fuck you. I feel sorry for you. I shouldn't even have to play the game. Should I, MAGA? Imagine Obama. Can we play the Imagine Obama game? Hey, MAGA, everybody sit down. Everybody in the MAGA classroom, sit down. I'll wait till you're all sitting down, MAGA. Everybody take your seats, MAGA. We're going to play Imagine if Obama did this. Can we play that game? Everybody hold my hand. Imagine that President Barack Obama threatened to take away the citizenship of, I don't know, give me the MAGA equivalent of Rosie O'Donnell, right? Imagine Obama threatened to take away somebody's citizenship, MAGA, somebody you loved. Would you be upset, MAGA? Would you say that's out of line, MAGA? Imagine, MAGA, that Barack Obama threatened to defund Republican-run cities because he didn't like them. Would you be bothered? Imagine if Obama did that. Would you be bothered by that? Imagine if Barack Obama, as president, threatened to prosecute Fox News because he didn't like a report that they ran about him. MAGA, would you be bothered by that? Would you raise holy hell about that? Would Sean Hannity go crazy? Would Sean Hannity go crazy? Imagine President Barack Obama threatened to arrest Florida Governor Ron DeSantis because DeSantis opposed his agenda. And Barack Obama said, you know what? I'm going to have DeSantis arrested. I don't know, MAGA. Would that bother you? Would you think or say that's wrong? I just love to play the Imagine Obama Did It game. I just love to play that game. Look. We do not have kings in America. And if the vast majority of Americans, Republican, Democrat, right, left, independent, everything in between, if the vast majority of Americans cannot embrace that unique American principle that we don't have kings here, we're not ruled by kings, then screw it. Then this country deserves to be gone, deserves to be lost. If the vast majority of Americans can't look back at these 7 authoritarian actions Trump has taken in the last 10 days, threatening to take away a private citizen's citizenship, threatening to defund cities he doesn't like, threatening to go after CNN, threatening to arrest Mamdani, Democrats he doesn't like, threatening to deport American citizens, threatening to arrest Gavin Newsom, ordering the Justice Department to go after Joe Biden. If the vast majority of Americans cannot look all in just the past 10 days at these 7 actions that Trump has taken and say, no fucking way, not here. Republican president, Democratic president, we don't do that here. Presidents do not do that here. I don't care what you think of Rosie O'Donnell. Presidents do not make that threat. Not here. Not in America. If the vast majority of Americans can't say that, then we're toast. And we deserve to be toast. By the way, No Kings in America, if you want to join me in the No Kings movement, you know the website. Go to oneflaginitiative.org, oneflaginitiative.org. It's all one word. Sign up and join me in the No Kings movement. Embrace that principle right there. There it is. There it is. No Kings in America. Got it. Go to oneflaginitiative.org. One other thought today. One other thought. I admit I'm confused, MAGA. And on this one, MAGA, I need your help. I really do. MAGA, the deep state's a big deal, right? And you've been talking about the deep state for a long, long time. Very, very long time. You've talked about how dangerous the deep state is, the threat the deep state is, right? All the shit the deep state does. You've been talking to me about that for so very long. I don't understand. And then along comes this Jeffrey Epstein guy, and he's a huge child, a pedophile, runs a big pedophilia ring that all the elite, you told me, were involved in. All the biggest Democratic names and Washington elite names, they were all involved in this big deep state pedophilia, Pizzagate, deep state, mother of all scandals. And it all revolved around Jeffrey Epstein. And they killed Jeffrey Epstein. And those names are there. And Bill Clinton and George Soros and Bill Gates. And they're all there, man. They're all there. They're all there. They're in the files. They're on the list. We're finally going to expose the deep state and this pedophilia ring. MAGA, you've been telling me this now for Epstein killed himself back in 19 for like 4, 5, 6 years. So MAGA, help me. Help me, help me. Help what? Help you, help me, MAGA. So Trump wins, and now he's got the Epstein files. And this is where it gets so confusing, MAGA. Marianne, help me. Trump says, forget about Epstein. Donald Trump was out there for a few years saying, man, we got him. We got the Epstein files. Epstein. Trump was out there saying somebody killed Epstein. Trump was out there saying Bill Clinton and these Democrats, they're all over the Epstein files. And now Trump is saying, let's move on from Epstein. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. Trump saying move on, forget about Epstein. Why are you talking about Epstein? What do you mean? You're finally in a position of power. Trump, he can expose the greatest pedophilia, sex, Pizzagate, mother of all scandals. And Trump says move on. And then Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, they were out there the last few years saying this is big. We got it, man. We got it. I got names, Kash Patel said. I've seen names. Pam Bondi said, I've seen names. And now Bondi, Patel, and Bongino, and all the rest of them, they're saying, nope, our bad, nothing to see here. Nope, nothing. MAGA, help me. And then last night in the Rules Committee, Republicans voted against calling for the release of the Epstein files. Republicans voted against releasing the Epstein files. So Trump says move on. Bondi, Patel, and Bongino say nothing to see here. Republicans don't want the Epstein files out. And I'm scratching my head, MAGA, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, who's the deep state then? Like, who is the deep state? I thought we were finally going to expose the deep state. And now Trump and all of his people, they don't want the deep state exposed. I'm so fucking confused. Is it because Trump's the deep state? I've done a couple TV appearances on this topic, and I ask why. Like, why does Trump say move on? Somebody tell me why. Why do Bondi, Patel and Bongino say, nothing to see here. Why are Republicans voting against releasing the Epstein files? Just somebody tell me why. They now finally have it. They have promised us, Trump and all his people, MAGA, they have promised us Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton's head and the heads of other big name Democrats, heads on platters publicly for years. And now they're in a position to finally make it happen. And they say, nope, let's move on. I don't get it, MAGA. And I'm just left to think, to wonder. Maybe Trump's the deep state. Maybe Trump is covering up for the deep state. Maybe Trump works with the deep state. I don't know what else to think. Rodney, I don't know. Could somebody tell me? Could some MAGA dude listening and watching me right now on Facebook tell me, why would Trump say move on? Man, he's got the goods. He's in a position to put it all out there. Expose all these Democratic pedophiles. I don't get it. And MAGA, I wish you'd help me. I really do. Thank you for listening. My email, if you want to shoot me an email. You're the best, Keith. Thank you. That's my Substack. I have a Substack, and I want you all to check out my Substack every day. I want you to subscribe to my Substack. Even if you don't want to be a paid subscriber, be an unpaid subscriber. Everything I do, write, and talk about, videos, conversations, everything is on my Substack. Check it out. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Thank you, Kiko. .substack.com. Hey, if you want to be a paid subscriber, I would just dig that. If you want to be a paid subscriber, you get extra access to Joe Walsh. I think it's like $5-6 a month. I'm not sure. That's nothing. Feel free to be a paid subscriber if you'd like. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Help me help you. Help me keep my voice out there. Help me keep my voice out there. That's my email if you want to shoot me an email. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh @gmail.com. All one word. Thank you, Keith. And oh Lordy, I'm going to keep resisting, baby. I'm going to keep resisting, and I'm going to stay on you, MAGA, until you help me understand why Trump won't expose the deep state. I cannot figure it out. Thanks, everybody. Hope you're having a good week. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.